Hello everyone, and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is September the 28th, 2023. And we've come to the end of our month of celebrations. So sad that September is just about over. How fast the time flies, doesn't it? For those that are wondering what I am wearing, I had planned to wear one more blue scarf, and it was kind of cool down here today. I am downstairs in a third level, and I decided that I wanted to wear something warmer, so I put on a poncho. You've seen this several times before. I'll bring it up close enough that you can see. It is quite woolly, and it has a purple metallic filament running through it, so it gives me a bit of warmth. And as purple is my second favorite color, I thought I would put it on today. And it's just plain. Every now and then I put a few rows of open work, so nothing fancy, no pattern that I followed. So I was a bit cool, and I thought this would be a little warmer to wear. And I asked for those that had September birthdays last week. I got more comments than ever last week. Thank you all for the birthday wishes and all of your comments, and some of them were so cute. I'll talk about that later. But I wanted to send out birthday wishes to my viewers that share my birthday month. So first of all, I want to say happy birthday to Margaret, whose call name is Pastor Smith, whose birthday was September the 1st. And then Lynn of Nina's Knots, her birthday was September 3rd. And then the next viewer goes by Life Over 60 and Beyond. She celebrated her birthday on September the 4th. And Josephine, who sends us the squares every month, her birthday is September the 11th. And Sigal, who often sends in items for the monthly cow, her birthday was September the 19th. And she told me that her dad's birthday was the same day as my birthday, and that he turned 89 this month. How fortunate to have your dad with you for so long. And two other people, one goes by the call name Weijourn, didn't tell me what date, and Judy Pine didn't tell me what date either. But to all you September birthday people, happy birthday. I hope you had a great birthday. I certainly had a fun time. And I don't think I mentioned that my brother has his birthday exactly a week before me, and we pretty much get together for our birthdays. And he came to see me, and him and his wife, and we went out for a birthday lunch. And also, my best friend's birthday is the day before mine, and we also went out for a birthday lunch. So I had lots of eating going on for my birthday. And as well, that wasn't all the celebrating I did. As you remember, last week I showed you some happy mail I got. Some of it was just answering my SOS call for certain brands of yarn. One of them was definitely a birthday present. And then, you won't believe it, but the day I made this film, so it was too late to catch this film, the video last week. I went out when I was done videotaping last week, and I saw a box that I knew was coming from Deb in Arizona. And she'd said she was sending me a birthday present. So here is the card she sent. I think people know I'm a cat lady. And it says, "May happiness reign on your birthday." And in the box, yeah, let's get the envelope out of here. In the box she sent me, hooray, 4 latte cakes. Isn't that interesting? How did you know I wanted latte cakes? Thank you so much, Deb. As I said before, these will get used. And the next day I went out and there was another box sitting on top of my mailbox. And this one was a shoe box, or at least I think it was a shoe box. And in it was a birthday card. Some people spread sunshine wherever they go. You're one of those special people. Have a beautiful birthday. And this came to me from Judy, another Judy, who lives in the Toronto area, which is maybe 3.5 to 4 hours drive, depending where in Toronto she lives. And this, she calls me my YouTube sister by another mom, I think because we're both Judys. And I appreciate the birthday present. I did not know this one was coming. And you won't guess what she sent me. Four more latte cakes in cream. And as it turns out, somebody told me, I don't know which of these people, that they actually spoke to one of the people in Michael's, and they are not discontinuing latte. Well, they can discontinue if they want. I got lots. And on top of that, my friend locally went to Michael's, I think the same day I got this, and told me that my local Michael's had another 4 or 5 or 6 cakes. I forget what she said. If I was interested, I said, no, I don't need any more. I just got lots for my birthday. And I really do appreciate it so much that you thought of me, that you sent these to me, and they will be used. Even though I have quite a few right now, I still will find uses for them because I love this yarn. It's probably my most favorite yarn, and right behind it is the new Karen Colorama Halo yarn, which doesn't feel quite as good as Latte, but I love them both. And I am going to be getting some more of that Colorama. I think I want to try and get the new colors. Don't know if you can get it in Canada. Well, yes, I think I can get it in Yarn Inspiration. So once again, I want to thank you two ladies, both Deb and Judy, for sending these to me last week. They came in time for my birthday, and I really, really appreciate it. I absolutely love it. And over time, not all at once, but over time, they will get used because I absolutely just love that yarn. So we'll put those aside for now. I have some other things I want to show you. I'm going to bop around a little bit back and forth today. The next thing I want to show you is something I purchased. I told you that I was going to buy the shawl pins I told you about 2 weeks ago. I did the demonstration of how to style or wear various items like shawls and wraps and so on. And I talked about the Penannular, I think is how it said, Penannular pins. And they look like this. I got two different colors and 2 different sizes. So I'll leave this one on. I got this in Etsy, and the store is J.K. Foster on Etsy. But if you put in Penannular, you'll get all kinds. I just wanted something very simple and plain. And I'll show you how they work. If I can get up close enough here. I don't have several layers, but I can still show you how they work. You put it like you do any shawl pin. You put it through your fabric, and then you lay the pin so that you see the groove. It goes through the groove underneath. See, oops. Put it under the pin, and then you can turn the pin around. And that, now I don't have a lot there, but that way it will hold it on secure. It won't come apart. That pin can't get out. And when you're ready to take it off, you just turn it around till you're at that spot. You lift it up and you pull the pin out. That's a penannular pin. I really like them, and if you have several layers, that is going to be very easy. I think it's easy to use. And again, I got the 2 different sizes. As well, I ordered some shawl pins. A friend of mine had been on a cruise that went up the St. Lawrence Seaway and out into the Atlantic Ocean and down to Boston, I believe. Anyway, when they were in, I believe, Nova Scotia, and they got off the ship, there was a bit of a yarn store there. I think it was in a trailer. And she ordered a shawl pin, and she told me about it. So I ordered some shawl pins from this company, and I'm trying to find the name of it. Atlantic Pewter is the name of it. Atlantic Pewter. And I'm going to put, I have the web address that I will put in the description box below. And the pin comes on a really thick foam. And I was surprised, you know, when you see silver, you think thinner. I thought it would be thinner hammered out, but there is one, the cat, and you see it's much thicker than you think. And the pin that goes through is a good thickness as well. So there is one. This one doesn't, oh, there we go. There is one that I got. And here, I haven't taken this out of the package. Here's the second one, a butterfly. They don't have a huge selection, but they're all very, very nice shawl fastener, Atlantic Pewter. So the web address will be in the description box below. So I wanted to show you those because we just talked about different fastenings for shawls and so on. And they came at the same time as that penannular pin, which I really wanted to show you what it was and how it worked. All right, this week's episode was all about checking in on my goals for the year. And I won't go into depth this time. I've done it every quarter, and I just trying to keep up to date with it, and I will do more in depth at the end of the year, because those that have been with me for a while know that I am not big at you know, the New Year's resolutions kind of thing, but I did set some goals for myself at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of the year. But very quickly, I set 7 goals, and I'm just going to do an update on those goals. One of my goals was to learn a new stitch or technique. A couple of the things I considered were things like cables or mosaic, crochet, and I talked about later the Solomon's knot or lover's knot. And I did do one item, a cowl that had some mosaic in it. I'm not sure I've really learned mosaic by that one technique, that one item. I still want to get into that deeper. At the end of the year, I'll have more pictures. I said that I wanted to use 2 or 3 kits from EFA, and by the way, EFA is Expression Fiber Arts, and you can see this is my wall of EFA yarn. I do like their yarn and I have lots of it. And this item that I showed you, I'm sure it was last week when I talked about Moon Gleam fingering, was part of a kit. I used 2 skeins from a kit and a third one I put with it. But I didn't use a complete kit. Now I've wanted to use 2 or 3 kits and haven't gotten to it. So I still have that on my list as a possible thing to do this year. And in fact, I hope before the end of the year, you know, the end of the year is coming faster than we like to think. But I have this kit of yarn. It is, what is it? Mirage Sport from Expression Fiber Arts. And I have a plan in mind. They released a pattern and I didn't want the yarn they used for it. So I'm going to use this yarn on it. And it's on my to-do list end of October or November. I definitely want to do it before the end of the year. So here's a kit that I think I'm going to use, and then I can really and truly say I did use one of their kits. So hopefully that happens. What else is on my list? Oh yes, learn Instagram, use it more. I think I have learned a fair bit about Instagram over the year, and I am definitely using it more often. I think what I need to remember is every time I complete a project that I put my finished object on. I don't do that all the time. I definitely announce the CAL at the beginning of the month, and I show the finished item for the CAL at the end of every month. But I could do a little bit more, and I'm going to keep pushing myself to do more. Complete 3 or more whips. As you recall, I was part of a whip crochet along with Karen Hooley at the beginning of the year. I did 3 or 4 whips then, so that was completed in the first quarter. Make 2 or 3 sweaters. I made 2 tops during the summer. Was not happy with either one of them, and I've given them both away. So maybe before the end of the year I can find the time to try to make at least 1 sweater, and that's going to pass on to next year. Keep up with shawls. You know, I make shawls to put in a donation box that we take to a senior's residence. I haven't done as much there as I would like. I have made some, and I have another 1 or 2 to make yet before we take it to them in December. Haven't done as well as I would like to, but I certainly have continued to make the odd one here or there. And the last item on my list is to do a couple of hours per week on my cross stitch. Now the first thing I'm going to do is show you a picture here of how far I had completed this cross stitch picture last quarter in June. And I have continued to keep up. I have missed a few weeks when things just got too hectic, and I'm going to have trouble in the fall because you know that fall is busy yard work cleanup, and I got something to say about that in a minute. But I did do as much as I could, and here's a picture I took because I didn't want to go up with the camera. Here's a picture I took on Sunday after I completed this week's little bit of work. I haven't done an hour or more each time. Sometimes I get an hour to an hour and a half, other times it's less. But I think in those 2 pictures, you can see some progress. Not a lot. This picture on the frame is going to take me forever to finish because it's a big picture. For those that are new, I was a cross stitcher. Cross stitch was my thing more than any other craft. I owned a cross stitch store for a dozen years. But when crochet came back into my life, it's like cross stitch got ditched. And I had this picture on the frame, and it's been sitting there for years, and I finally decided it was time to buckle down and finish this picture so I could get it on my wall. So that's why I made it one of my goals to work on it every week, and I am continuing to keep up with that. Not as well as I would like, but every little bit is progress. So that's my goals, how I'm doing for the next quarter, and we'll see at the end of the year how good I was on all of them. I will show you the work and the progress. So let me just put my list up there. And I was just talking about how busy I'm going to be with yard work, and so I just want to give you an update. If you recall, I said that I wasn't buying as much yarn for this next little while because I was trying to save my pennies, because I had to have my shed in my yard replaced. For those that haven't been with me long, you are not aware, but I will give some updates later. I have a hosta collection, and in my small yard, I have 200 varieties of hostas. Well, a lot of them, about 100, about half, have to be overwintered in the shed. And a little later in the season, I'm going to show you a picture of what my shed looks like when I take like 100 pots and pile them up on top of each other with cardboard and everything. And the shed is starting to sink into the ground, and it can't keep a door closed. So it was time to replace the shed. Well, today, which is earlier in the week, I tape earlier in the week. Today they came and started tearing down the shed. Right now, it has just the floor. The rest of the shed is gone. I'm sure he'll come back tomorrow and take the floor and start working on the ground to make it level. And hopefully next week, the people that built the shed will be bringing it and putting it up in the yard. And when that's all done, I'll show you some before and after pictures of what's been transpiring out there. And while I'm talking about not ordering as much yarn, I am going to continue that for the next, I guess, 2 months, because I'm saving up for Black Friday. I know for a fact that EFA has a Black Friday sale, and it's always been 30% off across the board. And I think that is the best time for me to get some EFA yarn. That's probably the only yarn I'll get in the US. As you know, I'm trying to buy less from the US right now just because of our exchange rate. But I am going to check some Canadian hand dyers as well, because you know what? Black Friday is celebrated all over the year, all over the world. Last year, was it last year or the year before? I got a good deal from Martin's Lab, which is in Poland, on a Black Friday sale. So for those of you that would like to get a little luxury yarn, and you know it's not quite in your budget, you might want to do some looking around during Black Friday sales and see what you can find, because you will find some good deals. So there won't be much in the way of acquisitions for a while. I have an acquisition today to show you, and that's going to be the last one for a little while. Now, the next thing I want to show you is I know there's a video coming out on Sunday, and I want to remind you that today is the last day for getting your pictures to me for the September Cal. The asters were, I'm going to put a picture up here. The asters were the flower of the month, and this today, September the 28th is the deadline I need them by so that I can use Friday and Saturday to get the video together. I will be finishing the video on Saturday. I will post it on Sunday, but I won't be doing any work on it. I will do it Friday and Saturday. It takes me 2 different days to get it all together to post. So remember, Thursday, September 28th, this is the deadline for getting your pictures to me for the September cowl. So I'm going to show you mine. Here is Faith wearing the shawl, I guess you might say, I made. I'll take it off and show you. I'll tell you more again on Sunday, but I used one skein of ephemeral fingering from EFA. It's something they bring out now and again. They don't have it on their site right now, but I heard Shandy say they would be bringing it out next spring or summer. And here is what I made. Very open and cobwebby. It was a 2-row repeat, very, very easy pattern. And I'm glad I picked this because I had somebody else tell me they didn't really like how ephemeral worked because it has a bumpy texture. I'll remember on the next video to bring it and show you the texture. And she didn't like how it was working, and she didn't like the thickness, so she put, I don't know if you can tell, see the bumpy texture, and she put 3 strands together. Now this is fingering weight, and the pattern is by Carmen Heffernan. And remember, I focused on her at the beginning of September, and this is the pattern I believe is called Olive Green, just because that's the color of yarn she used. I will link the pattern in the description box below, and it'll probably be in Sunday's video as well. There's no point linking the yarn that's not available at the moment. So there it is. And because it is so open, so lacy, I probably wouldn't wear it as a shawl, although it's a fairly good size. I wear it by putting the point in the front and then wrapping the sides around like that. There's the front point. I can't get back far enough. There we go. Oh well, we're falling apart here. There we go. Okay, we're all back together again with the yarn back where it belongs. And I was starting to say that somebody who is fairly new to the channel said how much they enjoyed the yarn up there behind me. And for those that are new, this was part of one advent calendar from last year at Christmas. I haven't thought of what I want to make with it yet. And somebody said they really liked it as a backdrop, so I just left it there for the time being. So I just finished showing you the August cowl, or September cowl that I finished making. And I just want to mention I have one other finished object. I can't really do any more than show you that because it was part of a mystery cowl. And I'm just going to put it in the bag with the yarn. And when the pattern is released to the public, because it hasn't been released to the public, I will show it to you again and talk about the yarn that I used. But for now, I have to just tell you, I did finish this cowl, and you'll hear more about it in the future. So now we come to what you're all probably waiting for. We had a lot of giveaways last week. We had a lot of presents last week. And now it's time to tell you who won them. So I'm going to be busy showing the picture from the random comment YouTube picker as to who won these various gifts. I'll go through them fairly quickly. The first one was the yarn from Troublemaker's Yarn, and this is a DK weight yarn, and the winner is Brat's mom, which is Linda. I do know that. Congratulations, Linda. All of these people will need to send me an email telling me your mailing address, because I don't think for most of you I have a mailing address, and so I need that to be able to send it. And as I promised, you will all receive one of my yarn cozies and probably some other goodies as we go. All right, that's the first one. The second one was keyword mermaid, and this is the yarn. It's actually a linen from the Mermaid's Purse in the UK, and the keyword was mermaid, and the winner is, that's my pink bathtub. I'm not sure I know who that is. Maybe once you told me your name, but congratulations, whoever you might be. Next, the next gift was sets, actually two sets. One is the straight, shorter length hook set of Tunisian hooks, and the second set is the wooden hooks with the cord, a longer cord that allows you to stitch a longer segment of fabric in Tunisian. So if you're interested in learning Tunisian, or you have learned and need hooks, the keyword there was hooks. And here's the winner, and that's Kim G. Congratulations to you, Kim. All right. The next one was, get the right one here, this skein of yarn, and the key word this time was shrooms. And this is a fingering weight yarn, merino nylon blend, blues and other colors, and the winner is Dragon Bee Crochet, and I think that's Lisa. Am I correct? I have several Lisas, and I think she's one of them, but I won't swear to it. But Dragon Bee Crochet, please send me an email, and I will be getting that out to you in the mail. Then, I'm sure we have a lot of excited people now. Then we had this next skein of yarn, and this again is, well, it says sock. I find sock and fingering weight much the same, and this is a merino nylon blend as well from Little Skein in the Big Wool, somewhere in the US. And the key word here was apple. And the winner of this yarn is Carrie. Congratulations, Carrie. Now, I know who Carrie is. She is in Ontario. And still some more yarn. We had 7 presents last week. The next one was this sock set, and it is 100% superwash BFL. It again is from the Mermaid's Purse, and so you're getting, it feels very nice, you're getting this sock skein of 100 grams and then a mini skein to go with it, a 20 gram. And this comes from the UK, and the key word was sock. And the winner is Josephine. Congratulations, Josephine. I know she's in North Carolina, and she sends 3 granny squares every month to our flower cow. Congratulations, Josephine. And one last present This person is getting the yarn from Ravenswood, a Canadian dyer who is on the East Coast. She's in New Brunswick now. And this has beautiful purples and browns and green and lots of colors. And again, it's a merino nylon blend and very, very soft. And the winner is Nina's Knots Crochet, and I know that's Lynanne in Florida. I have your address, Lynanne, and I have Carrie's address, but everybody else, I don't think I have addresses for any of you. So please be sure to get in touch with me, give me your mailing information, and I will get this out to you in the mail. Hopefully by next Tuesday. Tuesday is the day I like to make the run to the post office. So be sure to get in touch with me as soon as you can. So that's the winners this week. And by the way, I also received these stickers, and every one of you, you'll notice I now have one up here. Every one of you will be getting one of these stickers. I really liked it. Actually had hooks in it, not knitting needles, which I thought was nice. So, next I want to talk about next month, which next week is the beginning of October. What is the date going to be? Sunday is the 1st. So it'll be the 5th of October next week. And that weekend will be the Canadian Thanksgiving. So my, how the time is flying by. And I wanted to get you ready for what's going to happen in October so that I don't have to spend all of next week explaining it, or I might have to explain it, I'm not sure. But last week I told you that I received this in the mail. This is a Halloween, for lack of a better word, advent calendar, but it's just a Halloween calendar package for Halloween. And we're going to spend the month of October working with this package. I know that one of my viewers got her own. How far have you looked through it, Deb? Anyhow, I'm going to put up here a picture of what it looked like when I opened it. Now, this is on the top of the box. So I had to open up the bottom of the box. So things came out a little bit awkward. But I removed the tissue paper. And just to give you another better view, I'll move some of this out of the way. All of the packages are in there. Whoa. Well, they were in there. Every day is in there. First thing I notice is that I'm not going to be able to tell 6 and 9 apart. They were probably in here in order, but they aren't in order anymore. Oh, I know. There's the magnifying glass. You hold it that way. Magnifying. Okay, that's 9. So I have all of these individual little bundles. That's a mini every day. Day one has a big full-size sock, and I can tell you right now there's something else in there, a clue of some sort. My understanding is, I know for a fact that I will be getting a, what do you call it, clue, but I'll be getting a part of a crochet pattern every day. I don't know if they have both a knitting and crochet, but I know for sure that Karen Hooley, who I follow, has designed a shawl for this kit, and so I'll be getting a part of her shawl every day, every one of these that I open. But my other understanding is there's some kind of clue. You know how you've played the game Clue before? Well, I think there's some kind of clue to the mystery in each package as well, because I also got a pen that probably says Forbidden Fiber. I also got a deck of clue cards. See, that one says Ballroom. I don't know how we're going to use these yet. I will read the information page again just to find out. I also got a brownie. That may not wait too much longer. And I also got, some Essentials hand lotion. That's nice. Mild, very mild smell, which I appreciate. I don't like anything that's too heavy. And I also got this package. It has 1, 2, 3 stitch markers, progress keepers. I haven't opened it because it says it's a clue. So I'm wondering if at some point we're going to read something that tells me to open these. I can tell you though, one is a rope, one is a cleaver, and one is a wrench. See them in there? So they have something to do with the game. And I'm not going to pull it out, but there is there's a little sort of like notions package. And there's also a little clipboard with a pad. This makes me believe that I'm going to have to keep track of the clues. And by the way, I actually have a score sheet. I have, just one score sheet. And I have information on the shawl. The shawl is designed by Karen, as I said. It gives me the stitches, the finish size, the yarn, the hook, the gauge, and so on. And then I have what's inside. Tells me the things that are in here. And as they talk about planning this, so I don't think it tells me how I go about I'm going to read this part to you. Be sure to keep an eye out for our strategically placed clue tags, as you can mark your included player sheet. Some clues will be obvious, but others will be a bit more subtle and will require some deductive reasoning. Maybe you'll have to help me on some of this. After you open your last day's clue, you should be ready to make a guess at who killed Mr. Body, B-O-D-D-Y. So we're trying to find out who killed Mr. Body. And with what weapon and in which room. Post your guess, and I will give you this towards the end of the month. Post your guess on social media and be sure to tag us at Forbidden Fiber Company. On November 1st, one lucky person with the correct guess will be selected to receive $25 gift card at Forbidden Fiber. They would also like to see our projects. So I'm going to try during the month to kind of keep up with the clues for the shawl we're making. I can't share those with you like always. This is first of all, paid for pattern by buying this box. And I suspect Karen has done this in the past. This pattern will be released as a pattern probably in the new year for purchase on her site. So I can't share the pattern with you, but I can show you mine as it evolves. So we are going to be opening some of these every week. Now there are 4 Thursdays in the month. So that means we have to open at least 3 every week, plus this big one. I'm pretty sure there are 13 in total. I'll double check. If there are 13, then we'll have to do an extra one on the last week. So we'll be opening this and looking at the clue plus 2 more as starting next week. And at least we get to see the pretty yarn as it appears, and hopefully you will see the shawl. I don't know how well I'll keep up, but I'll do my best to keep up with it as we go. So that's what's happening in October, and I hope you'll enjoy playing along with me and maybe helping me if I missed a clue, or helping me solve the what's going on. I played Clue a fair bit when I was younger. I don't remember that I was particularly good, but I was quite young when we played it. So that's what's in store for us next month. I hope you enjoy that, and definitely it'll give us yarn to open as we progress through the month. All right. So, I have an acquisition to share with you, and this is the last acquisition. If I had ever shown you my table behind and you had seen how congested and full it was and saw it now, you wouldn't think it was the same table. This won't take us long though. I only ordered one kind of yarn. I made an order from Pearl Soho. And I don't think this is, I have trouble figuring out if they do the hand dyeing or if they order the yarn from somewhere else and sell it under their name or in their shop. I don't quite understand, because when I look it up, they don't look like a hand dyer. But anyway, this is 65% merino and 35% Surrey alpaca. Love the look of it. And when I was looking at it, knowing it was alpaca, and does it say, has 420 yards in the 100 grams, so it would be the equivalent of fingering weight. Says to use a size 2 or 3, which is 3 or 3.25 millimeter needles, so approximately the same as a hook. I ordered this in 3 colors, and I'll show them in a minute, but I just love the look of it, and so I decided to order enough, I think, to make me a sweater in this color. I have 4 in this color, which will be 1,600 yards, which should be enough for a long sleeve sweater. And I have to tell you, it is very soft, feels very nice, but it is not as, it doesn't have as much halo as some alpaca, which for me is good, because sometimes I find they have so much fuzziness and hair that it just gets sort of in the way. But this is really nice, and I will put a link to them in the description box below. Then I ordered 2 other colors, and I didn't order sweater quantities. I ordered 2 of each. I ordered this color and this color. And then after I got it, this does feel heavenly. After I got it, I got thinking, well, maybe what are you going to do with 2? But you know what I've decided is I'm going to do a color block sweater. After I get good at making sweaters, I think I'm going to put these 2 together, and I'm going to do the top half purple, because you know how I love purple, and the bottom half in the gray color. So I probably will make a second sweater with these, unless I get very frustrated with sweaters. Then 2 of them will make a really nice shawl. I could take 1 of each and put them in a shawl or scarf or wrap. There's several things I can do with it, but right now I'm thinking sweaters. So I made this acquisition, I think, before Christmas last year. That's how long it's taken to get through all of my acquisitions. Not going to be as many this year. Okay. And finally, what you're all waiting for is I have one more present for you. And since we're ending off the month, I want to end it off in a bang. And so I have 2 matching skeins of yarn. And the reason I picked this one is, first of all, it's from a company called Candy Skein. I have a fair bit of her yarn over there in my stash, and it's called Luscious Fingering. It is 80% merino, 10% nylon, and 10% cashmere. There are 400 yards in a skein, and the color name is Birthday Cake. How fitting. I thought this was the perfect yarn to do for our ending of the big birthday celebration. So one for my birthday and one for my podiversary. Some lucky person is going to get these 2 skeins. They won't get anything much else in the package other than a yarn cozy. Some lucky person is going to get this as my birthday present to you, my viewer. And you know what? How about we use the word September? Yes, we're going to use the word September since that's what it's been all about. Use the word September in the comments below, and you have until next Monday night. Next Monday night, I'll use the random comment thing Tuesday morning. So you have until Monday to use the word September, and maybe you will be the one to get this very special present. Feels very nice, but of course it's got some cashmere in it, and it's very colorful. You could use the 2 together or use each one separate with a solid, or do a 1 skein project. So good luck to some lucky viewer out there. And that brings us to the end of our September celebrations. And yes, next week's October, but I will be announcing the winner for the end of September. So I hope you have enjoyed all of our celebrations this month. And once again, happy birthday to all you September babies. And congratulations to all those recipients of presents today. And I need to hear from all of you. And next week we start our game of Clue. So until then, happy hooking.